If you're new here, I encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We do everything from unboxings to reviews and just general comic conversation, so we do appreciate that and it helps us out a lot. Now let's jump right into the review here. I wanted to take a minute and kind of go over my thoughts on Berserk. I know there's been a lot of people that have done it. The reason I bought it was because of Jim Mint Collectibles. He and Fee did a review on Volume 4, and as soon as they were done with that, I immediately went into Amazon, picked it up. It's only $30, so it's not a big investment, and this thing is worth every penny. Now, I know a lot of people have been kind of concerned because it's not technically a comic. It is considered a manga, which is more the Japanese version of a comic. You do, in fact, read it right to left, okay? Which can be kind of off-putting at first, but I will tell you, after about 15-20 pages, which sounds like a lot, but it's not, I mean, it just flows. It becomes natural, it becomes second nature, and you really don't think anything else about it. So don't let that discourage you from picking up and reading an amazing story. In the artwork in here by Kentaro Miura, man, it is fantastic. Hardcover deluxe edition. It is this really nice, beautifully textured front, back, all the way around. Okay, and it does come with a ribbon. The book itself stretches very nicely. You really don't miss anything, any stories, anything like that at all. So it is fantastic. Now, another thing besides being a right to left is the fact that it is in black and white. Now, don't let that throw you off. Again, first, it's kind of weird because we're so accustomed to it. There are plenty of comics out there that are actually black and white themselves. But again, after 15-20 pages, it just flows. It becomes natural. And you really just get engrossed into the stories. Now, this is about 700 pages, give or take. I read it all within the first day and then immediately had Volume 2 shipped, ready to go. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the history of Berserk and kind of where it comes from. It was, again, written and illustrated by Kentaro Miura. This came back in 1988, and it was a simple prototype at that time. He put it in a competition at the Kami Manga School, and then he ended up in 1990 getting it published by Jet's Comic Collection. Now, 3 of those volumes were done under Jet's, and then Berserk was ultimately taken up by Young Animal in 92. Now, we didn't actually see it in America until Dark Horse Comics ended up picking it up in the late 2003, okay? And so far, they've actually released over 40 volumes. To put that into perspective, Volume 1, the deluxe edition, only picks up 3 of those volumes. So there's a little bit of history about Berserk and kind of how it came to be. So let's talk a little bit about the plot, the story summary, without going into any spoilers or anything like that. At the beginning of the book, you get a pretty graphic scene, which depending on, kind of how you are and who you are, you'll really either like it or dislike it. But it was very, very eye-catching at first, and definitely a panel that kind of pulls you in right from the beginning and kind of sets the tone for the rest of the book. Berserk takes place in this very odd, medieval, very cruel, dark world. Tons of demons, some fairies, and it's just honestly a savage place to live, savage place to be, which really isn't unusual for a lot of these mangas, or comics for that matter. Now, we follow our main character. His name is Guts. Guts is this very cruel, very selfish, very odd character, but he's a character with a code, a character that stands by what he believes in, and you see that very quickly. Now, he is full of hate, he's full of just absolutely cruelty, but you honestly get to see later why he is the way he is. Now, there's also another character that we meet almost immediately. That character is Puck. Now, Puck kind of plays this counterbalance to Guts, okay? Where Guts is very much so this, again, cruel, very dark character. Puck kind of brings this lightheartedness, this very witty, this very enjoyable character. Now, Puck is actually a small fairy, so again, it's very opposites from the very beginning. You have this very dark person versus, with this very light person. And then you have this very large man, and then you have a small fairy. So it's a very interesting dynamic between these two during the first 3 volumes, at least so far what I've read in this deluxe edition. Now, on top of the story, I absolutely fell in love with the artwork. It is so different than anything else I've read within the comics realm of things, so to speak, but it is gorgeous. You can't really compare the two. It's a lot different, but everything in it is depicted so well. You feel like you're in the story with these characters. The splash pages are gorgeous. You honestly half the time don't even need the words to be able to follow the story because of how well the art is done. You know, when somebody's getting chopped in half, you see him chopped in half. You see the blood, you see the guts. When something, you know, incredible's happening, you feel like you're in that moment with them. So it's just a wonderful experience through and through. And I think if you've been kind of on edge, picking up this book or picking up, you know, other mangas for that matter, I would say start with Berserk. It's a $30 book. And if you decide you don't like it, it's a $30 book that looks great on your shelf. And if you love it, then that's a book that now you can continue to read. You can get all the way up to volume 4 right now, and volume 5 comes out this summer. Don't forget to go check out Jim Mint's review of these. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's what inspired me to pick this up. Let me know in the comments what you think about this review and this style. If you did enjoy it, please let me know, and we'll continue to do these down the road. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. Again, that helps out greatly. And as always, collect your way.